Welcome, fellow holiday revelers, to Making Sales Social Live, brought to you by Social Sales Link. I'm Bob Woods, and I'm joined by co host and fellow LinkedIn pro and big time holiday celebrator. I think that's a word. I'm not sure. Bryn Tillman.
Bob, I am a big time Thanksgiving celebrator. I think this is my favorite holiday. So
Oh,
I'm,
okay. I
yeah.
definitely like it too. I definitely like it too. So, if you're with us live right now, we are T minus 3 days from Thanksgiving. Everyone talks about giving thanks during this time of year, and you can do that with your connections, networking partners, and even clients and prospects with LinkedIn and social selling. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, we're obviously past the Thanksgiving holiday at this point, but you can still use these tips to show your thanks and gratitude to your connections at any time of the year. Short intro today because we got a lot to talk about. So, with that, let's get into our jam packed showing gratitude to your LinkedIn network for Thanksgiving or any time of year episode. So, first of all, we're going to
Yeah.
talk about probably, yeah,
How
yeah,
many do
Brent.
we have all together? There's
We have
10?
10. We have
10.
10.
Well, we better get to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too. First one is probably the easiest you could do, but yet it's still really important. Endorsing your first degree connections on LinkedIn.
You know what's funny about this one, Bob, is a lot of people roll their eyes at this. They're like,
I
oh my
know.
gosh, right? Like, it's like, but here's the really cool thing. When you are the recipient of an endorsement, it feels good, right?
Yep.
It just and that's what we want to do. We showing gratitude and thanks. And there are a couple things that happen when you endorse someone, right? Their endorphins go up because they feel good. And that you also have this opportunity to kind of start a little bit of a conversation because there's a good chance they're going to thank you. And you'll start a conversation and just check in, no agenda, how they are, what they're up to. It's just, building deeper rapport, but making them feel good. Here's the kicker, and really critical, is you have to make sure that what you endorse them for, you have experienced.
Yeah.
Don't just randomly endorse people for things that you don't know if they're good or bad at, right?
Right.
So make sure when you do this that you're doing it authentically and that they know when they receive that endorsement that you really feel that way about them.
Right. Yeah. Because if you endorse a marketer for like cold calling or something like that, not that we would do that, but I mean, but if you do that, they're gonna feel it, but then at the same time, it's like, "Okay, I really don't do that, and I really haven't worked with this person on that. I'm not really sure why I get it." It basically kneecaps the entire reason why that you're doing it, essentially. So, really do it
Yeah.
in a genuine way, and that, as Bryn said, in a way for something rather that you have actually experienced with this person. Because otherwise, it's not gonna seem genuine, and this is all about being genuine because we are all real, genuine people.
Great point. So, number 2.
Numero dos. And this one I really like because it involves more than just one person when it comes right down to it. Make warm introductions to your connections who can benefit from knowing one another. So in other words, you're introducing two people that you're connected to that you are really like, I really believe that this person can work with this person, or
I
person
love
A
that.
can really complement person B, and vice versa too. That is hugely important because you're not only helping one person, you're really helping two people, and potentially even more down the line because you can say after that, look through my network and see if there's anyone else you would like to be introduced to so that you can like multiply that effect essentially, which I think is very powerful.
Very powerful. I agree. And as we're out there showing gratitude to folks, there are a few ways you can do this. There are some people that you're just going to know who they want to meet, just generally who in your network they want to meet. But if you don't know, ask. So, hey Bob, I'd love to really show my appreciation to having you as a really valuable person in my network. What kinds of people do you talk to that, who is it that you're prospecting? Who is, what folks are good referral partners for you? Ask, right? And then you can search your own connections to find the right people. I want to know who your prospects are, but I'm in this particular case when it comes to gratitude, I don't know that I'd focus on introducing them into prospects, but to other referral partners. So I
Mhm.
have a financial professional and a CPA or a banker or an estate planner. All of them work with a similar client and can probably bring each other in and can, as Bob mentioned, can really be incredibly valuable to both parties. So I love that. Number 3.
Number 3, engage, and this is an important distinction, engage on and with their content. In other words, like their discussions, publications, tweets, and then also engage thoughtfully, and then share their LinkedIn posts as well. And we learned something very interesting about the LinkedIn algorithm that actually kind of charts out what you should do first and then second when you are doing the engaging as well. So once upon a time, and I was someone who did this all the time too, I would just click like or whatever reaction that I wanted, and then I would write a comment. Well, the algorithm has now flipped that. So nowadays you should actually write your comment, which is thoughtful and insightful about whatever it is that was posted. Write that and post that first,
Yep.
and then click on the appropriate like, whether it's like or celebrate or
Reaction. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
reaction,
that's
that's the
great.
word I was looking for. Yes.
Yeah. That's great advice. What we learned from our friend Richard von der Bloom
Mhm.
is that when you comment first, that actually helps their post get seen more in the algorithm. But it also, side note, even though this is all about gratitude for them, it actually helps you too. LinkedIn loves when you're engaging with comments. I don't know if everyone's seeing this right now, but on mobile, my like became really tiny and my comment is bigger. So, the word like on posts on my mobile is small. And I noticed that yesterday. So, I don't know if this is a thing where they're real. I know Bob's going to check it
As
now, but
as I whip my phone out
yeah,
really quick here.
it has not changed at all on desktop, but on mobile, the like button is small.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
interesting?
I'm seeing it too. Yep,
So they're
absolutely.
really
That's very
encouraging.
interesting.
Yeah, so they're definitely encouraging comment first. So
Yep.
that's great.
UI,
Where are
baby,
we? Number
UI
3 or
and
4?
UX. We are on number 4.
4, 4, 4.
Recommend Yeah, 4. Recommend your connections on LinkedIn. This is important because it goes beyond that endorsement and really gives you an opportunity to expand on exactly why you are recommending this person. So in my view, when you do recommend someone, make sure that you are really spelling out why. So, in other words, you're not just saying, this is a great person. I like them. I recommend them. Tell why you're recommending them. This person did a great job with the copy on my website. We've seen an increase of conversions by 35 to 40%, depending on the page. I wholeheartedly recommend this person. So, make sure that it's real and genuine, and it's not the equivalent of a great post comment to a post essentially. Make sure that you're really putting thought into it.
If I could add to that, because that's very great. You can recommend people in this particular case. Bob's talking about someone that actually brought us direct value
Hmm.
from I bought their product or service.
Yep.
You can also recommend someone that introduced you to someone. You could
Hmm.
recommend someone who did a great job with a project that you did internally, someone that I mean, there's a lot of reasons to recommend folks. And you can recommend your clients for being awesome people to work with. So
Yep.
while our traditional way of looking at recommendations is I bought a product and service and I am going to give them a review, right? Our
Hmm.
recommendation. Anyone that brings value into your life that you think deserves to be acknowledged, you can recommend.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our next tip is going to get back to the endorphins a little bit, but endorphins are always great to feel. And this is just give them a shout out because everyone likes to see their name in the proverbial LinkedIn spotlight.
Yeah, now be careful with this for sure because you don't want to mention, first of all, you don't want to mention 12 people in the post. All right, you wanna make it as a personal shout out, but you can shout out, like, something even if you're, like, resharing their content and you give them a shout out for all of their insights, or, "I wanna thank so and so for their brilliant conversation that we had today on a mastermind," or, "I wanna give a shout out, I had a wonderful lunch with you know, with Walt, and he shared such great insights, and it really was just letting them know that you appreciate whatever they brought to the table. So
Exactly.
shout outs. I love getting a shout
Mm.
out.
Yeah, shout outs are great. And our next one actually takes shout outs
What
to
number?
another level. So we're on number 6 now. So this is creating a thank you video mentioning one or more of your connections who have impacted you professionally this past year. And I love it because I'm a video guy. So I do like doing videos. Videos still have impact in that someone's actually seeing you talk about these people. So make sure that when you do the video, you have the appropriate amount of enthusiasm and gratitude in it. And then
Yeah.
also make sure that when you are writing the post to the video that you're at mentioning them too, so that they're actually alerted that you have mentioned them, and hopefully they will come back and comment. So again, you're putting them in a spotlight, but you're putting them in a spotlight in a much more personal, meaningful way. And that's not to say that you shouldn't do shout outs because you absolutely should. But the thank you is a way to kind of deepen that, especially if it's like a slightly longer term thing. So, we just said impacted you professionally this past year. You could go back and mention, this
Cool.
person's done this, and this for me, and it's been fantastic. And I think this person is absolutely fantastic.
You can also chunkify your thank yous, right? So I hired a marketing company and there are 4 people that I worked with inside that marketing company, and I talk about how great all 4 of them were. Or my own team, I put out a video talking just saying my appreciation to my own team. So you can actually create videos for different mind like little communities inside of your everyday work, right? So we have a couple people that we refer business to, and they have a whole team. So if I just did a video thanking the whole team and mentioning every one of those people, they're really grateful. And we're also marketing them as well. So they appreciate that. Am I jumping ahead if I talk about a personal video?
Um, we really don't have personal videos
Okay, well then I'm
specifically,
going to
so I'm
add
very
to this.
interested in hearing this. Yeah.
Right? So, well, you do it all the time. So, but you on your phone, right? You can send just a very personal gratitude thank you privately to someone, right?
Yeah.
And so anyone that you are already connected to, you can send a video message on your mobile device. You just go into message, you click a video and the selfie and just go, "Hey, Bob, I really appreciate everything that you've done in the last couple of months around X, Y, and Z. And I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving." Or if you're doing this after Thanksgiving, I'm just grateful for it. Thank you. So those
Yeah.
personal videos, so there's the great one that you're publicly sharing, but you could send them personally too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the next one that we're going to talk about is kind of a branch out a little bit from shout outs, but they can be more specific as well. And that's giving kudos, which you can do in the LinkedIn feed for various things that LinkedIn provides that I have forgotten about. So I'm actually going to look that up. So let's see.
Oh, so
Yeah.
yeah, being a mentor,
Yeah, that's
thinking
right.
outside the box. There are so many things that you could do with kudos. And, it's really a public postcard, a public thank you. I absolutely love this. People are so it's heartwarming when someone does that, when someone going above and beyond, right? So if someone helps you out and they, it wasn't their job to do it, but they just really wanted to make an impact, thank them, show that gratitude through a kudos.
Yep.
Did I miss
Yep.
any? I'm
N-
sure I did.
Um,
There's a bunch.
well,
Oh,
yes. So we're on number 8 now. So we still have
okay.
3 more to go. We're starting number 8 with what is what we're kind of sort of doing right now, even though Brent and I are our co-hosts, is get into more of an interview situation
Oh.
and actually interviewing your connections on a LinkedIn Live, just like what we're doing right now if you're watching us live.
Yeah, I love this, right? You could do a LinkedIn Live. It's so simple, but you're sharing their expertise with your network. This is so, and you might say, well, if I'm going to do this for Thanksgiving, there's only 3 days till Thanksgiving. If you're listening, it's been weeks since Thanksgiving. This is just really about showing your gratitude to them. It doesn't matter when you do this, but when you reach out to them, you could say, look, I'd really love to interview you on a LinkedIn Live, 20 minutes. You can share with me the questions you'd like me to ask and your bio to introduce you, but I'd love to get you in front of my network. There's nothing better than to have someone say that to you. I mean, it's funny because I have people that are prospecting me all the time, and a few of them have done this. They don't even have a podcast, but it's a great way where I built rapport with them. I like them. And then when they want to talk to me a little bit about what they do to explore if we could work together, I've already got a relationship with them. And on a consistent basis, this has worked as me as the buyer. So I know, and I'm really skeptical, but I know that, one of the ways for you to build rapport with your top level prospects is to just showcase their expertise to your network, bring them that value. I'm not saying I don't want this to necessarily be, I'm doing this for prospecting, because this is about giving to them. But there are a little of these like gems that come out of it. But remember, the purpose of this, since it's about gratitude, is about your real purpose is to get their voice in front of your network to help them grow their thought leadership.
Yep. Precisely,
Yes.
precisely. Now we're going to flip that a little bit with number 9. This is about sending them content from an influencer they follow. So there are a couple of steps to doing this, but I almost hesitate to say a little bit that this is the closest thing to a real gift that you can send them, but at the same time, you are truly gifting them something that they may not know about, depending on how closely that they follow an influencer. So, to share with them something that they could take away from somebody that they already like, and you either like, or maybe you will discover an influencer that you like too out of it as well. This is really, really powerful, I think.
Yeah, I love this. So here's the thing, you can search your first degree connections and an influencer that they follow. So let's say you love Brene Brown, you love Brene Brown content, and you want to see, hey, how many people in your network also love Brene Brown. And you go, oh my gosh, I have 87 first degree connections that love Brene Brown or follow her at least. I'm going to hop into something like listennotes.com and find a Brene Brown podcast. Listen
Mhm.
to it, come up with my top 3 takeaways. and share it with them. I mean, well, this is about what they like and what they care about. So this is a great way to show gratitude. And
Yeah.
we've had a couple of people ask, yeah, LinkedIn Live, number one, it is recorded and you can download it, and we do that. And yeah, Mark said, love the idea of interviewing someone on LinkedIn Live. Me
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. 100%. So the last one, which is in my mind really great because this one really gets to the heart of things, because one of the things that we talk about in social selling is thought leadership and promoting your thought leadership. Why not use your thought leadership to promote their thought leadership?
So, ultimately, what you're doing is sharing their content with
Yes.
your network, right?
Yes.
There are lots of ways to do this. We do on our newsletter Influencer of the Week, where people can nominate someone. We reach out to the people that are nominated and ask for their insights, and we promote their thought leadership, their insights in our newsletter. Anyone can do that. I think it's just socialsaleslink.com/influencer, but we should check it.
Mhm.
And so anyone can nominate an influencer, or nominate themselves. The other thing is, when you go to your network and you ring their bell to follow them, or you're going through your newsfeed, or you search your first degree connections, you're going to find, you could actually search first degree connections and post it in the last 24 hours. You're going to find a lot of content that your network would appreciate. Read that content, come up with your top tips, your thoughts around their content, and share it. Now, they will get mentioned when you share that content. You can at mention them if you want to, but they will know just simply from you sharing it that it's been reshared. But I tend to at mention them so it's shown at the top in my thoughts and that they
Mhm.
can get to them. What do you think around that?
Yeah, so I mean, especially with the at mentions, I mean, just the fact that that you're sharing their content tells them that, one, it was a really good piece of content if someone else is sharing it, and number two, it shows that you value what they're saying, and especially when you put it in the post part about why you like what they wrote or did in video or whatever, essentially, that all just really goes to promoting their thought leadership even more and saying, this person really knows what they're talking about. I think that you should listen to what they're saying or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I tested it. Socialsaleslink.com/influencer. You can fill this out, or you can send it to someone else that you think would be great. And that's our gift to you guys, is go to socialsaleslink.com/influencer. And, if you've got some great content that our network would find useful, we will give you a shout out both on social and in our newsletter and on our website. All those fun things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then speaking of things to share, we are also putting we are in the process of this, so it's not done yet, at least as of the recording of the LinkedIn Live. It will probably be done by the time this gets out on the podcast, but we are putting everything that
Definitely.
we talked about today into an ebook as well, so that you can have a physical copy, whether you print it out and waste all the ink or whatever, or if you just have it saved as a PDF on your desktop. We
It's
will be
very
having
colorful. So it
very,
will
very
be a lot
colorful.
of ink.
Yeah, a lot of ink, a lot of toner being burned on that if you decide to
Put it in the
print that out.
PDF. Yeah.
So, details on that are coming. We will let everyone know when that actually
I think it'll be
comes.
in an email. So if you are on our email list, you will automatically get it in a couple of days. If you're listening to this in replay, you'll look at the show notes below. You'll be able to link to it.
Yep. Yeah, we will have that all that there when it's ready. Right now, we're all way too busy getting Thanksgiving turkeys ready and things like that. So,
Yum.
um
All right, let's bring this Thanksgiving
we are
podcast
Thanksgiving.
to a
So
close.
thanks again for joining us on Making Sales Social Live. If you're with us live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter right now, we do this every week. So keep an eye out for our live sessions. If you're listening to us on our podcast, we hope that you'd subscribe or follow to us so that you can access all of our previous shows and be alerted when new ones drop. If you'd like more info about the podcast, go to socialsaleslink.com/podcast. That one's easy. We do 2 shows weekly. This one and our Making Sales Social interview series, where we talk with leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many more areas. So in this Thanksgiving and holiday season, when you are out and about, make sure to make your sales.
Social. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.